Okay, today this is a reading for the feminine principle. Whether you are masculine and feminine, we're going to do a part 1 and a part 2 and look at the yin and yang of the principle through some tarot and a story that's going on here. The first passed on legend coming out to share a moral and story today is Leonardo da Vinci. Right, and he comes out with the Mona Lisa and the quote, "Nothing strengthens authority as much as silence." So it's talking about you committing to silence, you being independent on your own is here. We've also got Freud and Tesla out and Escobar out, right? So with these energies coming forward, it is an incredibly powerful story about you giving freely from the heart space, even though you are filled with fear vibration, and learning through that. Yeah. Now, it's really, really difficult to have a dream, have a vision, have a belief system, want to share it with the world, but feel frightened to do so or anxious about how that's going to come across. I saw a YouTube video where someone was saying, "Oh, I do all this DIY stuff. I do all of this DIY stuff, do it yourself. So if you go to my website, you can buy the stuff and to do it yourself." And it was just some kind of marketing kind of joke whereby you were selling and encouraging to people to do it themselves, but you are actually trying to make them do it through you and not do it by themselves. So there's this energy here of you trying to put your artistic touch, flair or take on something, but you don't want it to be taken from you, and you want to be able to help and give, but you also need to understand how you're going to receive in relation to that giving. Yeah. Anyone on the spiritual journey, you'll be aware when we start, we give, we tell, we prophesize, we share, we open our hearts, we try and be that charitable person in the space, in the room, in the environment. We pour our hearts out. And only when we realize after a certain period of time that we can't keep coming back in minus, in negative, with no return, that's when we start going, whoa, I'm doing something wrong here. Everyone's hands are out and they're ready to receive, and I keep giving, but I'm not receiving anything back. And I feel like it was scary because you love what you do and you love to do what you do, but the more that you give it, you feel like, well, what about me? I'm giving, but I'm not receiving. There's a gorgeous influencer who I absolutely love and adore. There's loads of influencers on social media across the platform because of what I do. And I just love how supportive and how much effort they put in, because obviously I've experimented on social media doing all of these kind of different going into all these different social groups and taking on all these different kind of characters and roles and senses of me in these communities, from doing get readies with me, from doing tarot, from doing lives on different topics, from me changing my appearance, doing some cosplay stuff, from me doing digital stuff, news reporting. Like, I just play around with all the stuff I like to do and try and bring it to the platform. And I know how exhausting that is. And this is just a prime example. And so many of the content creators out there are producing all of this stuff, putting it out to the world, especially the motivational stuff. And it's kind of like, is anyone motivating you? Is anyone inspiring you? Is anyone picking you back up and giving you all the love that you're giving off to everyone else? Because I remember what that felt, to keep getting up every day, full face of makeup, dressing out, spending money on outfits to look cute, or putting together this gorgeous get ready with me, or this gorgeous outfit I'm going to wear, then coming on, creating this video for YouTube or whatever it is, and then I'm putting it out. And whether you're getting the views or not, that's time, that's effort, that's your heart you've just shared with the world. And to feel like you're not getting anything back for it, not even in a financial sense, but you feel unfulfilled or unrewarded sometimes for all of what you're giving off. Yeah? I'm giving. I know I'm helping, and I know it should be selfless, and I should just do it effortlessly, but it feels like my heart is being sacrificed over and over again, and I'm just sitting here wondering and waiting, right? That's one element of this love. This also could be in context to a relationship, take it as it resonates, but there's this heartfelt part of you that there is this fear of, what if I just keep giving me and me and me and me and me, and I never get, I want to say them and them and them and them and them. So that's I guess the return. That's the relationship. That's the reciprocation. That's the the followers, the numbers, the traction, the money, the awakening, the awareness, the purpose, right? That comes from external validation at times. So we're looking at the feminine principle seeking light and resolution and comfort and wholeness. And the advice from the divine is keep going, keep committing. Don't be scared of this. Don't wrap yourself up in fear-based vibrations. Yes, it is you. You may be guided to go and watch the mirror reading I put out with this, right? Looking in, like something about the mirror, right? Go and check that out, because there is connections here to you looking at yourself face on and understanding what you have to bring to this world, right? The journey may be long, the journey may be tumultuous, but you are on the journey already and you are doing it. And it is really important and really, really empowering for you to help other people, because that is part of your purpose. There are reasons why we pull away and choose not to help and choose not to overgive, because there is an important need for balance here. But the truth of the matter is, your heart is so full of all of this love and energy, you're not losing out. You're not losing out by giving, yeah, from your heart space. Because when you create and you do, like me making this content, for example, I'm making this now. I feel alive in this now moment, reciting these words to you, looking at the cards and images, hoping that this finds its way to someone. Whether one person watches it or 1 million people watch it, the fulfillment's in the now moment, for I am reciting in ways in which I love to do, and that's got to be enough for you, yeah? It can't be the external after effect or the before. It's got to be the reward in the now. And that's how we manifest law of attraction. You can't get what you want by going, right, I'm going to make this content, push through it, then I'm going to put it out. And only if I get a certain amount of number, a certain amount of traction, or a sponsorship, or a big deal, or someone sending me a gorgeous email, then I'll be fulfilled. Then I'll know for sure. Then it will be enough. Because we're not looking at the whole picture then. Yeah, you're looking at the future effects of what this may produce. Or same with the past. Well, in the past I've done this before, so I can do it again. Or I'm just going to keep doing this kind of content over and over again because I've been doing it before. And it worked once, it will work again. You know, you're allowed to change, you're allowed to be different, and you're allowed to pull back and be silent at times. I'm going to dive into the silence because I feel like there's a message here for you. Let's have a look. Really something powerful about, and very stoic about, just being still at this time. Wow, you're looking beautiful. Now, another indigo card has come out. So we're looking at throat chakra, heart chakra, third eye chakra fusion is what I see here. When I talk about chakra fusions, that's me saying chakras are great. From the 1 to 7, if we focus on the 7 chakras, they're fantastic. They give us an insight into different elements and energies within our body, within our central nervous system, of what is going on, how we are functioning. When you think about the greats like Nikola Tesla, who is also out here today, we're looking at energy, vibration and frequency within inside the human being, our own energy, our own frequency, our own cells, right? Our own wavelengths, yeah? So when we look at it from that standpoint, it's like, okay, the root is great as a root. The sacral's great as the sacral. We know how they operate independently, but it's only when we start to fuse these chakras together, right? Do we start to get other vibrations and frequencies at a higher magnitude. Nikola Tesla screaming at me again when we're thinking about electricity and Wi-Fi. How does all these things happen, and networks and systems and devices and technology and AR and VR, all of the amazing things that we have in relation to energy in the physical? That all stems from the fusion. All of these wires, copper wires, fiber optic, all of these kind of stuff stem from our ability to fuse. So your heart has been alive for a very long time, yeah? And I'm referring to that in regards to awakening. Whatever awakened your heart 4 years ago, I'm getting in my head, your heart was initially awakened to something more beautiful, more purposeful, something you wanted to do that was more than what you were already doing, that made you quite different or feel somewhat nervy. You didn't really want to speak about it, say too much. You've just been evolving through it, right? But then it's risen up, it's gone to your throat. You started to speak about it now, fascinatingly enough. Really, really speak on it. Your beauty's grown throughout all this process as well. The way that you look has improved incredibly. Your emotional stability has improved incredibly. And you're a lot more alone. And I think that's an insecurity for you as well. I'm talking from my own perspective here, potentially projecting on you as well at this time, because I know what it means to be alone, ascending through this kind of vibration and fusion. But then when we get to the third eye with you, we're clearly seeing you're in a fucking brand new dimension now. It's a really nice time in your life is what I can see, because it's clear to me that there is this little fear-based vibration, because we've got the 8 of swords and the 9 of swords right on top of the love and the true you. The true you and the love in your heart is just right there next to 8 of swords, 9 of swords. That's fear, insecurity and worry and nightmares and panic, everything that you don't need. But when you're aligned to the Most High, to the love, to the dream, what's the polarity of that? The fear and the angst. So the higher the fear, the panic, the worry, the negative self-talk, the limiting beliefs seem to pop out of nowhere. It's because the love on the other side of the spectrum, your ability to grow, ascend, believe, desire, want, dream and intend to do, is at such a max cap, so high up there that you're like, whoa. You're going to see the polarity high up as well. They're going to mirror each other, yin and yang. Welcome to the yin and yang symbol and the whole ideology of the channel, which is finding the grey, the medium between the two. For we know it is unrealistic to be so high vibes and loving without embracing the darker elements of the conversation. Because no one on the planet is constantly gung-ho, love and light every single day of the week. There are elements that make us scared and fearful, especially when we're doing something new. Especially when we're approaching conversations we haven't had before. Especially when our chakras and energy is constantly vibrating, transmuting. We're ascending. And ascension isn't cute. Go and check out my Instagram. You will see ascension be like. Spiritual awakening be like. And it's cute, but not cute. Because we are all struggling and everyone's like, oh, it's so lovely to be spiritual and be woke. No, it's not actually. It's quite painful because you're sitting on past pain and trauma and upset and hurt and all these concepts of who you're supposed to be versus who you wish to be or who you intend to be, who you believe you are. And once again, all of those past, present and future contexts I just lay out is a massive part of the story as well. Is this me now? Is this me in the future? Is this who I'm going to become? Is this who I desire to be? Can I be? But in the past I was. Past, present, future. What period of space-time should I be existing on now? Even though my consciousness has just provided me with this plethora of self-understanding. Yeah? I understand myself from this perspective, but I'm not sure if that is actually me in the now moment or if that's going to be the me I manifest in time. It's definitely not the past version of self. All right, Descartes, calm down. It's exhausting, isn't it? Constantly spiraling through constructs of who am I? I am, I think, therefore I am. It should be that simple. I think, therefore I am. But the power is not in the thought because we have not been trained to believe in our thoughts. We have been trained to believe in everything other than that. Unique for all of you, so I just left it open to interpretation there. Because at the end of the day, at your own social group, family upbringing dynamic, friendship group, social group, age, gender, race, religion, yeah, are all going to dictate what that is for you, what you should or shouldn't be doing. But you're moving through it. There's one thing we can guarantee, and I know you know it as well, because the cards are evident. You know you're moving through it. I think you just needed a reminder today that it's all right. Yeah, this 8 of swords, 9 of swords energy is here. But do you know what? It's kind of going to exist at some level on the spectrum always because it's in the deck, isn't it? Like, if we look at tarot as... Oh, this is a bit intensive. But we look at tarot as a life tool. There's always going to be 8 of swords in the deck. There's always going to be 9 of swords in the deck. They might not be coming out to tell the story today or tomorrow or next week or next year, but they're still in the deck. They're still part of the full package that is you. At some point in space and time. So you might be fine now. You might be fine next week. But once again, these are going to come out. And if they don't come out in you, they're going to come out in someone else. Next time you do another reading and the person you're dealing with's got 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. That's when you've got to be empathic and go, right, okay, I remember when that was me in the reading. Now I understand that that's the other person I'm dealing with. I understand. Empathy, understanding, consciousness, yeah? Wow, look at, oh, we've got all these queens out. Now we've got the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands. I've pulled again, the Queen of Swords is coming out. I feel like you could be being quite cold at this time. Because of this love that you have in regards to your love and your heart and what you desire, and the fact that it is making you somewhat fearful, I feel like you could be a little bit cold at this time, a little bit cutting. Don't judge yourself for that either, because I'm not saying that to be judgmental. I'm saying that to be very conscious of your choices, your words and your decisions, and who you choose to align to or not align to. It's all right. Once again, there's all these connotations about how we should be speaking and how we should receive each other, and we must always be perfectly spoken and positive and loving and healing and kind. If you haven't fucking got it to give, you haven't got it to give. And that's all right. We're not telling anyone to go around and shit on anyone else and be mean and horrible and just have a foul tongue. And if you have done anything that is rude or offensive or hurtful, then firstly pray and meditate and speak to God about what that was. But then secondly, if you need to make public apologies to other people and outrightly, well, not I say public, but do you know what I mean, go and have a conversation with whoever and clear the air and apologise, then feel free to also do that. But this is about you just putting your hands up and going, okay, I'm not perfect. I never intended to be. I'm just trying to move through this. And actually, the more I move through it, the more I identify the light and dark of me. And actually, this is nice because I've already put out Brahma the Creator, which is featured at the top of the homepage as the main story I wanted to share with you guys on this channel today, right? The main video. But in that story, we speak so lengthily about the Gaia, the Mother Earth of the situation, the feminine principle, and how she is always in the dark. For she is the moon, for she is unseen. Remember, Mother Gaia in that story was always longing to see the day. For she knew, even in the dark of the moon, that the land that she was watching over was filled with bright lights. She knew that there were crops on the land. She knew that there were people on the land. She knew that there was oceans and rivers and streams. She could see it. But in the dark of the moon, she couldn't see. At night time, can you see the world clearly when you're out? No. So imagine Mother Gaia up there, the moon, looking down on Earth, thinking, but I keep having these dreams and visions. When I lay my head down to rest, all I see in my mind's eye are trees and people walking on the land and all of this blue and green of Earth. But every time I rise, I don't see that. Poor Mother Gaia's fucked in the head, confused. Where is all of this I see in my mind's eye? For the sun god is seeing it all. The sun god, Ra, is receiving all of that, for he is giving off the light of day. He has no idea that it is dark like that when he is not there. He has never seen Earth under the moonlight. So what's fascinating, because we're going to head over to part 2 now and tap into the masculine principle. But Mother Gaia, if you are out there embodying that mother energy, that divine feminine principle, you are correct. And your vision is right. And although you cannot see it, you can feel it. And just as we know in the now moment that Mother Gaia is shining an luminous light over Earth, that makes it look less than it is for this time being, for the sun has to come in to illuminate it to its full capacity, it still doesn't take away from the fact that Earth is still there. And she is still playing a key role in it turning. Yeah? She is managing the night. So are you. And this is more important than ever in this transmission, to also let you know how important it is for you to understand your masculine principle. You must now go over and listen to the masculine reading and the masculine principle of the conversation, for that is also you too, yin and yang, light and dark. So now let's head over and see what we can learn from the masculine principle, for the feminine is sitting pretty, illuminating and radiating glow at a lower frequency with a desire for more. So let's see how the sun is going to impact this change, yeah?